Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is about prioritizing yourself, something that seems almost alien to us, and we just don't do it because we make excuses. Life is difficult, we have dependents, we have people we need to worry about, we don't have time to take care of ourselves. And as your self-care decreases, so does your value and your self-worth. Because as soon as you stop caring about yourself, you lose your self-worth completely and you just don't care anymore. And that's such a sad thing because we really need to start prioritizing ourselves more. And that's the reason why we may feel unfulfilled or that we lack purpose. Remember that prioritizing yourself comes first and foremost. When you need to eat, you need to eat. When you need to sleep, you need to sleep. When you need to wake up, you need to wake up. When you need to do things that are required for your own well-being, you cannot skip them. You cannot skip your showers. You cannot skip brushing your teeth. You cannot skip meals because you need to have the self-respect to want to look after yourself, to have that responsibility, to take responsibility for yourself and take accountability for your well-being and looking after yourself. Because that comes first. You can't take care of other people if you are not taking care of yourself first. You can only spread yourself so thin in life. And we don't always prioritize because so much is demanded of us. Work, family, friends, social life, all of these things where people require things from us. People require our time. People require money if you have dependents such as children or elderly family. Then you don't necessarily prioritize yourself, especially if you have someone in your family who is ill. Then you don't feel the need to prioritize yourself because you need to focus on them. But you cannot be there for them if you do not put yourself first. And we don't do this because there's so much that is expected of us that we just don't see the chance. And when we do get the chance, we're so exhausted by fulfilling all these responsibilities that we just neglect the self. And that does damage, so much damage to your inner relationship as well. How you relate to yourself, how you internalize your relationship with yourself, and how you speak to yourself. And it's a very common thing for us to neglect our well-being. We don't always notice that maybe we aren't as active, maybe we aren't eating enough or enough of the right things, maybe we're not sleeping well, maybe we're not drinking enough water. We are aware of it, but we neglect it because we don't feel that's important. But you know what? You are important and you are worthy and you are worth self-care and valuing yourself and to prioritize your well-being, not just once a week, but every single day of your life. And another thing is we hardly ever prioritize our mental health, and that's a disaster. When we don't prioritize our mental health, we don't realize how things start manifesting, and we don't realize that mental health is a silent thing. It's something that deteriorates slowly and silently, leading you to believe that you're okay for a while until one day you're not. And we don't pay attention to it because a lot of people believe that it's not real. And a lot of people don't believe in recovery. A lot of people don't believe in prioritizing their mental health because it's not as important as their physical health. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. You cannot have a healthy body if the pilot and the captain up here is sick. Then you can't look after yourself. And that's another thing. Your mental health is a part of your well-being, your overall well-being. You have to prioritize your mental health in order for you to stay emotionally regulated, for you to manage your thoughts, and for you to self-regulate and self-manage as well. And we really need to prioritize our mental health, because it's something that will come back later worse and worse and will take a huge toll on your life. And if you're not a priority, you'll start to feel run down. You'll start to feel exhausted, purposeless, worthless, like there is no meaning, and you can't create meaning because you feel so run down that there's just no more value in your life. You don't take time for yourself. You just give all your time to other people without realizing you can only spread yourself so thin. And we feel run down when we don't prioritize ourselves, because we don't have that accountability to want to look after ourselves, to want to better ourselves and improve ourselves. And we become complacent in the fact that we don't want to do it. And if you are not a priority, your self-esteem and your confidence will reduce over time. You will not feel so confident in yourself if you're not looking after yourself. You will not see yourself as the beautiful human being that you are if you don't prioritize yourself, because it makes you not want to look after yourself. And when you don't look after yourself, your appearance and your well-being starts to deteriorate, and that makes your confidence and your self-esteem reduce, and eventually you just don't feel good about yourself anymore. You're just not happy in your own skin because you do not feel like you're worth it, but you are. And not prioritizing yourself causes you to overwork yourself. You take on way too many responsibilities, way too many things, and you push yourself too far because you think, oh, I can do it just a little bit more, just a little bit longer, just another hour, I can push it, until you end up run down. There goes your confidence and your self-esteem, and there goes your motivation to look after yourself. When you push yourself too far, you don't prioritize yourself, because when you prioritize yourself, you know when your body and your mind needs rest. And when you're not prioritizing yourself, you don't prioritize rest either. And the sad thing is, not being a priority means that your needs come last. You prioritize your needs last. In relationships, in friendships, at work, whatever you feeling, whatever you need from someone, you just shove away, you just push away, because you don't think that you are worthy of having that need fulfilled. But it's very important that you do prioritize your needs in relationships and the need for your own psychological freedom. Not being a priority means that you will start to struggle in your inner relationship. You'll become very critical of yourself, very judgmental. You'll have a very negative view on yourself. You may not resonate with yourself very well. You may not know how to create a healthy relationship with yourself. And eventually you just start to despise yourself, and your inner relationship just sort of crumbles, and you feel unfulfilled because you don't have the closest person to you, which is you, to back yourself up and to prioritize yourself, because you feel you are undeserving. Not being a priority means that you are spreading yourself too thin, as I said, and it can cause your self-worth to diminish. How you value yourself, what you make meaning from yourself, what you make meaning from who you are, is no longer there. You're not making healthy, positive meaning. You're not saying, I'm a good person because I believe in this and I love helping people. No, you don't see yourself in a helpful way. way. You don't see your value and you don't see your worth. And your self-worth will diminish when you're not a priority and you are starting to push yourself a bit too much. So remember, when you are spreading yourself a bit thin, remember that your needs are important. Your physical and your mental well-being is important. And you should always come first and foremost. Otherwise, you won't be able to look after others who need your help. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.